Former Prime Minister and founding chairman of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, Imran Khan, who has been unjustly incarcerated for 160 days today, spoke with members of the press at Adiala jail today. He told reporters that he has been given a message that if he listens to certain people, then all cases against him will be forgiven, just like Nawaz Sharif, Maryam Safdar, Asif Zardari and Shehbaz Sharif's corruption of billions of rupees was waived off. He added that 200 cases have been filed against him and that such an example of political victimization cannot be found throughout the country's history. Mr. Khan told reporters that General retired Bajwa had asked him and Shah Mahmood Qureshi to remain silent on the regime change operation and that the Saifa case is just to punish them for exposing the people behind the regime change of April 2022. Imran Khan said that there is a small group of elite in the country that consider themselves above the law and that this is an example of the law of the jungle. Mr. Khan spoke about atrocities in Palestine, saying that atrocities being committed on the Palestinians is unprecedented and that Palestinians are being massacred. He added that there is no war or conflict, but a persecution is taking place in Palestine. The Supreme Court of Pakistan has adjourned the hearing about PTI's election symbol until 10 a.m. on Saturday. PTI lawyers will argue their case while arguments of the Election Commission's legal team, as well as Akbar S. Barber's lawyers, were completed today. During the hearing, Justice Muhammad Ali Mazhar asked if officials were elected unopposed in other political parties as well. Talking to the media after the hearing, Barrister Gohar said that PTI will present their case tomorrow. He said he's very hopeful that the Supreme Court will restore the symbol of the bat. He added that they are relying on Article 17 and that never in the history of the country has the election symbol of any party been taken away on the basis of intra-party elections. Meanwhile, the Peshawar High Court has sought a response from the Election Commission of Pakistan on a contempt of court petition filed by the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf. The petition states that despite the court's orders, the ECP has not yet issued the party's election symbol, nor is there a certificate of eligibility of PTI on the ECP website. The unconstitutional caretaker government of Pakistan has added 908 billion rupees to public debt in November alone, the third highest increase in a single month in this fiscal year, largely due to increased expenditures, pushing its overall debt to 63.4 trillion rupees, reported the Express Tribune. The State Bank of Pakistan reported on Friday that the federal government's debt increased to 63.8 trillion rupees by the end of November 2023. The caretaker government added nearly 908 billion rupees to the debt stock in a single month, marking the third highest increase in debt this fiscal year. Out of 908 billion rupees, an amount of 546 billion rupees was added to the domestic debt stock. The increase in external debt in a single month was 361 billion rupees, including the impact of rupee devaluation. The rupee to dollar parity by the end of November stood at 285.24 rupees per dollar, up by 3.72 rupees per dollar from the preceding month. Public debt has been multiplying at an unsustainable pace due to uncontrolled expenditures, below potential revenue collection from sectors like real estate, services, and agriculture, and the sinking rupee against the dollar. Quoting the latest government borrowing data from the State Bank of Pakistan, an economic expert said, quote, "Government borrowing from local banks reached rupees 3.12 trillion against 1.05 trillion rupees borrowed in the same period last year. This is a whopping 197% increase compared to last year," end quote. He added that this will continue to cause inflation and potentially lead to the weakening of the rupee, resulting in more inflation, while adding to the debt burden on the economy, leading to more taxes, thereby compromising on investment and growth potential of the country. Britain-based charity Oxfam said on Thursday that the daily death toll of Palestinians in Israel's carnage in Gaza surpasses that of any other major conflict in the 21st century, while survivors remain at high risk due to hunger, disease, and cold, as well as ongoing Israeli bombardments. Human Rights Watch also says Israel's war on Gaza has included acts of collective punishment that amount to war crimes. At least 23,469 Palestinians have been killed and 59,604 injured in Israeli strikes on Gaza since October 7th, according to Gaza's Ministry of Health. In the most recent 24-hour reporting period, Israeli forces carried out 10 mass killings in the Gaza Strip, causing 112 deaths and 194 injuries, the ministry added. About 7,000 people remain missing under the rubble and are presumed dead. Meanwhile, conflict in the Middle East spreads as the US and UK launch air and sea strikes against the Houthi military targets in Yemen in response to the movement's attacks on ships in the Red Sea. Saudi Arabia, which has in recent months engaged in peace talks with Yemeni Houthis, was closely monitoring the situation with great concern and called for restraint and avoiding escalation, the foreign ministry said in a statement.